Hello and welcome to part 16 of a video series on how to use Blender 2.7. In this video I want to very quickly show you how to join two objects together and then how to separate them apart later. Let's go ahead and click on the splash screen to get rid of it, and I'm going to press 1 and 5 on my numpad so I go to my front orthographic view. Now I'm going to join two objects together, but I'm not going to use my default cube because I tend to use that one a lot, as you probably do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add two new meshes with the Shift-A keyboard shortcut for the add menu. I'm going to add a monkey head. That's Suzanne, our favorite monkey head. And I'll add a torus, which is basically a donut. Let's go ahead and join these two together by selecting them both and then pressing Control J. Control J, of course, is join. But before I do that, I have to mention that it does matter which object you select last in the sequence of when you select everything that you want to join. The reason why that is because of these orange dots in the middle of every object or every mesh. This orange dot is called the origin, and it's where Blender considers the coordinate of the entire object. So when you're positioning an object with the its location, the location of this torus is at 0, 0 on the Y and Z axis, but it's at 1.68, etc. on this red X axis. So that's its coordinate right there. Every mesh has one, but when you join two meshes together, it only has one origin because it's just one object. The last, or the origin of the last object that you select, will be the origin of the entire object. So if I select the torus first and the monkey head last, by selecting this one with the right click on your mouse and holding Shift and selecting the monkey head's origin will be the origin of the entire thing when I press Control J. So just know that when I press Control J, they join, and now as you can see, when I select just part of the monkey head, the entire thing becomes selected. I'll press Tab to go into edit mode just to show you that it again is all one object, but it's important to know that it does not actually kind of merge or weld the vertices and edges and faces together of the two things if they're overlapping. In this case, the torus overlaps with the monkey's head and ear, but they're not actually welded, they're just intersecting all of those, and I'll press Z to go into wireframe mode. You can see everything still exists and they're not actually connected. If I were to select the entire torus in edit mode, I'll press Tab and then Z to get back, there we go, into edit mode but solid view. And so how we can separate this now is I have to select this entire torus and then press P on my keyboard. P, for some reason, it's a weird keyboard shortcut, it's separate. So what I can do to separate or select this entire torus is I can put my mouse over it, making sure I have nothing else selected, and I can press L. L is the keyboard shortcut for island select. And so now if I have it selected, which I do, I can press P, and it does this time bring up a separate menu, and I can separate selection. And now that torus is no longer in edit mode because we're in edit mode of the monkey head. If I press Tab to go out of edit mode, I can select the torus independently and press Tab to go to edit mode. That's all great, but we still have one little problem. And that problem is that the torus still has that origin, but it's in this spot of the monkey head's origin because the torus forgot where its own origin should be, which is in the middle of the object, unless you want it somewhere else. How we can fix that, and I'll just move the torus, let's say, above the monkey's head, sort of an angel monkey now, I guess, is to have the torus selected and go over here to the tool shelf where it says Set Origin. We can set the origin very quickly here to the geometry, so origin to geometry of the torus, and as you can see, it jumps back to the middle. Now, there is a couple settings here that are very similar, but they act differently. If I select the monkey head, if I set origin to geometry, you'll notice that the origin actually jumped a little bit. It jumped closer to the front of the monkey's head, and the reason why that is because there are more vertices. There's denser geometry at the front of the monkey's head versus the back of the monkey's head, which has larger faces and has less geometry. So that's what happens when you use and I'll go back into object mode for this, the set origin to geometry. If you want an origin to be right in the middle of an object, no matter how the object is modeled, you can always select set origin to center of mass, and that will put it right in the middle of the object as if it were a completely symmetrical object in the very center of it. So that's moving your origin around. And that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.